Are all the big and major bridges broken and destroyed in Iran? Uh, so that the IRGC and the Basiji units are still able to move as easily as they were before, or is it harder?
Okay, no, like we had most of the bridges are fine. Like there's so many bridges in Iran, and we got just like how many did we see being blown up, Ali? Like how many were blown up? Like I don't know, three, four, yeah. So we have like tens of thousands of bridges, and we saw four explode. So I don't think that was a those are warning shots. Those bridges being blown up was not doesn't have much of an impact over the mobility of the IRGC. It was just basically President Trump and telling the IRGC, I'm like, I might do it. I might like, I like that was trying to get them to the negotiating table, which actually was genius. Like, I don't like again, I don't know if he's a genius again or like is he playing the madman strategy very, very, very well, or if he's an actual madman, I don't know. Right. Again, we talked about this already, but the effect is like the whole like praise be to Allah. I'm gonna end on civilization. No, I'm gonna blow up all your bridges in 1 hour, and every single electric power plant in Iran will blow up. So that sounded crazy. And then the praise be to Allah was the cherry on top, making the Islamic Republic think like this guy's crazy. We should talk to him. Like he might actually do it. And that whole strategy brought them to the negotiating table, which caused the level of humiliation that is now dividing the entire regime against itself. So it worked out. Like a lot of people are like, I know President Trump is doing genocide. He wants to end the civilization. But in fact, what it did is causing more damage to the Islamic Republic without the explosions that would destroy the infrastructure. Bringing them to the negotiating table is a huge PR nightmare for the Islamic Republic because we finally are seeing cracks within the regime in a way that missiles and drones couldn't. So it ended up working out that just blowing up just four bridges, which is like less than 1% of the bridges of Iran, but like much less than 1%, a fraction of all the bridges. And so many people are like, oh no, this is a crime against the Iranian people because they use it. At the end of the day, it worked out. The regime panicked. So it was a game of chicken. And, the Islamic Republic blinked and he brought them to the negotiating table and caused so much humiliation that is now I'm seeing levels of division within the Islamic Republic right now that I've never seen in my entire life. And I've seen division. So it's working out.
To respond, we have myself and Shauna. So those bridges that were destroyed, like there was one big one that made the headlines. That wasn't even finished. They didn't even finish building that bridge in the first place. So that was more like a symbolic destruction of it anyway. The railroads were hit. We hit them in 8 specific spots. During the ceasefire, they went in and they rebuilt the part of the railroads that we destroyed. Doesn't really matter. We can just hit them again. Doesn't matter if they rebuilt it. What that does do, though, I think what you were wondering about, it does make them so that they can't send their missile launchers and their missiles to like different areas. So every time they launch a missile, they can't resupply it. And that's why we go after the bridges or the railroads. The next to respond is Shauna.
Oh, I just also wanted to point out with Trump's kind of crazy speech of like ending civilization, the other positive benefit, which I don't know if this was Madman Strategy, I think this was just a positive benefit that was handed to us, is that it really made a lot of the anti-Israeli like podcaster crowd go full mask off, and that has turned some heads to be like, "Okay, you guys are really crazy." Just now granted, I'm talking about my fellow terminally online folks. However, that still matters. Even that 10% of people who are paying attention to podcasts a little bit too much or whatever, that does help kind of just re exposing Tucker, exposing Candace even further, just everybody. It made a lot of, I think, woke a lot of people up, like, "Okay." So, just every I think that was just a gift that was handed to us, but I just wanted to point out that that was another benefit.
I just want to be clear. It's important to. It's good that at least some of us, are paying attention to these things. Like, so this is like when I was saying that many Americans might not care. It's good that some people care enough to follow these things, right? So don't. I'm glad that you care enough to follow these things. All right.
To respond is Harris.
Yes, I just actually wanted to respond to Shauna's point, which is like I'm starting to realize that Trump's greatest genius is just pissing the media off. Like I swear, the crazier he goes on Twitter, the more he's like doing behind the scenes. You may have heard that the Strait of Hormuz was obviously blockaded. But did you guys hear about the deals that he was making with Indonesia, like the military defense deals? And then there's also the rerouting of the oil lanes to the Gulf of America, and all these things that he's doing in the background while you're keeping the media folks busy with all the crazy shit that he says, essentially, and the media away from the scrutiny that the media would otherwise give him on the back end deals that he's making.